All right, ever wonder what a million-mile 12 valve looks like? Well, that right there is a million-mile 12 valve. She has seen some stuff, I'm pretty sure. It has got, now this was in a farm truck. It is a VE, for you guys that don't know what you're looking at. It's a VE non-intercooled 12 valve. And the reason I can tell by just quickly looking at it, water neck, and then also this throttle linkage bracket, kind of gives it away, and then this old school vacuum pump, which I'm recommending to him to put a new one on. So those ones are usually junk. I might actually take that one apart and see if it's screwed up though, because it actually doesn't look that bad. But anyways, the reason I have it outside right at the moment is I'm gonna wash it before we tear it apart. And I'm gonna bring you guys along for tearing it apart so you can see what the inside of a million-mile 12 valve is. Now, the reason that he pulled this one apart is he said it was starting to consume oil and he wants to continue to use the truck. It is a farmer, it's got a bale deck on it. I think it's a bale deck. Pretty sure he said it was a bale deck. Maybe it was a fuel truck now. Anyways, can't remember, but something like that. It has been a farm truck its entire life, and it gets used. So we're gonna rebuild this baby and hopefully it gets another million miles. Imagine the truck will be gone by then because, well, much as I love my Dodge trucks, they do kind of rot away. Anyways, let's soak this thing down and give her a bath because, man, she got some stuff on her. Like she's pretty scuzzy. She's pretty scuzzy. Now, if you're doing this at home and you want to watch this and you're not taking it apart, obviously you're going to plug off, the intake, the exhaust ports. I plugged off a few things that I didn't want water to go in, but for the most part, I don't care if water goes in the stuff because we're going to get this thing washed and then I'm going to start tearing it apart tonight. So it's not going to be sitting together for very long. All right, let's wash this thing. All right, just thought I'd come to you guys. I am going to use Super Clean for the degreaser. Let me know, guys. Let me know in the comments what you guys use. I'd be curious to know what everybody uses. I know a lot of guys use oven cleaner. I have used oven cleaner before. My problem is that I tend not to go anywhere where you buy oven cleaner most of the time. So I don't have it. This stuff I buy from one of my distributors and it works really well. It's technically, biodegradable, yada, yada, yada. It's one of those things, I'm not a super fan of biodegradable stuff. Like I realize it's better for the environment and that stuff, but the old products, you didn't have to use near as much. So like, I'm not gonna use a whole gallon cleaning this, but just for instance sake, if I have to use a whole gallon of this to get this engine clean versus use a liter, or for you American guys, a couple quarts or a quart, I guess a quart is close to a liter. Anyways, to do the same thing, which product is better for the environment? Like I realize some products are really bad for the environment, but for the most part, like engine degreasers and stuff like that. Years ago, I would just use a can on something like this, like one spray can. Now if you use engine degreaser, like regular engine degreaser, then you probably have to use 3 cans on it. So that's triple the packaging, triple the volume of stuff, triple the shipping. I don't know. It's one of those things. Anyways, I'm going to use Super Clean. I got it in a pump bottle. I'm going to hose this thing down, and then we're going to get the Hotsy out and give this thing a nice hot bath because I think she deserves it. We're gonna rip this baby apart. Now, I think we're gonna take the dipstick tube off. I'll show you a trick for doing that. And then we'll pull the injection lines off. We'll get the head off tonight and then probably pull the rest of it apart tomorrow. See what the head looks like, maybe pull the injectors and stuff out. So, all right, let's get after it here. First off, we need a bin, a bucket bin to put stuff in. All right, check to pull a dipstick tube out. Don't mind the mess of my toolbox. I should not leave it like that, but house your rolls. little torch, and probably don't get the diesel fuel that's pouring out of the fuel filter all covered. But we're not too worried about that. What you want to do is, usually there's a clamp on right here. You want to take that clamp off. Now I got my finger covered in diesel fuel. You want to heat that up. You don't want to get it really hot, but you need to put some heat into it, and then that will pull right off of there. See? Oh, look at it. If you bring an engine in, don't leave it full of oil, because I charge an extra 50 bucks for that. You're pulling an engine out, one of the first things you should do, drain the oil. It's muchly appreciated, and like I said, I do charge to get rid of the oil. So we got that off. Let's pull the injection lines off. So we need 17 for here, 17 for here, 10 mil for the return lines, 10 mil, and yeah, I'll probably get about 15 too for those. All right, and I grabbed, if you guys caught that, working on P-pump. I was working on that earlier today. Oh, 17's not put away either. What am I doing here? Don't be like me, kids. Put your tools away. Oh, it's not in the right spot. So it was put away, just not by me. All right, let's pull. Oh, actually, well, we got you on the horn here. Looking at this, most guys probably won't be able to tell which engine it is, which engine isn't. If you're buying one of these or looking at one of these or whatever, there's a few telltale signs that will tell you whether it's a VE intercooled or non-intercooled. One is going to be this pump. These didn't come on the intercooleds, I don't believe. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. But your injection lines, so your injection lines, usually on an intercooled engine, this will be one slot forward. So these two holes here, your slots will be over here. And then obviously your injection lines are different because of that. So if you see it basically in the middle of the engine, it's a non-intercooled. Or even if you're just looking at one of these plates, I'll show you when I get the plate off, it's a little bit different as well, but just thought I'd forewarn on that. Also, another good giveaway is this filler neck, or sorry, water outlet neck, or thermostat housing if you want to call it such. Most people, you can swap those around though. And you can swap a bunch of stuff around. Just, I like to tell people stuff, obviously. That's what I do here. So let's pull this thing apart. It's one of these things, they are very simple. You don't need a lot of tools to do stuff to these. Oh no, come back. Oh. Batting 1,000 apparently. I don't think those bolts have been out in a day or two. You know, it's actually funny. The very first time I had one of these things really apart, it's on a day similar to this, but I was working outside my farm that I grew up on, and it had a similar problem. It was using oil, and then it started to knock. This one I don't know, just 100. I know what happened to the one that I had. I was being stupid and towing something I shouldn't have been towing, not enough air, and I hurt it. But this one, guess we're gonna find out. But mine did not have 1,000,000 miles on it. I don't know if I've ever told the story. I'm tearing this thing apart. Can't have music on because, well, YouTube things. I don't know if I ever told the story about why I bought my very first 12 valve. So at the time, I'll see if I can inset some pictures here, because that's actually something that's kind of ironic for how much I'm on social media now and YouTube and all that stuff. Years ago, I didn't even take pictures of things. I've built complete trucks and all that type of stuff. Trucks, cars, never taken a picture, never one. Which is ironic. Now, anyway. But I had a 2001 extended cab. Yeah, so well, like I said, I'll see if I can't find the right picture, I'll post a picture of it. Well, a truck identical to it. I had a 2001 quad cab, crew cab, suicide 4-door, you know what I mean. Half-ton gasser, short box, sport. Black on black, like a nice truck. I really like that truck. Other than it was gasser, and it had no power. Now I did do some things to it later, but to give it more power, and then that's another story. I had that truck, and I was doing a bunch of towing. I put a lot of miles on that truck towing, and it was not what I should have been using, but it's what I bought. So, you know, you use what you got. And I went with one of my buddies, Ryan. And I'm not gonna say his last name just because I don't know if he wants his last name to be said on the old interwebs, but Ryan, good shit. He is actually the one that got me the job working at the generator company, which is maybe another thing you guys don't know. But I worked at a generator company for a while. Good dude. He had a red and white one, automatic truck, and it was a 92, I think. 92 or 93. Automatic, obviously VE truck. Basically nothing done to it. You know, like it was nothing, you know, back then, well, we didn't know anything, so that also didn't help. But, you know, he had that, and he was towing a trailer, get way better fuel mileage than I used to, would tow up hills faster. It was just all over better truck for doing what we were doing. So I thought, you know what, that 2001 that I had was paid for. Wow, was paid for when I bought my first gen anyway. And I thought, you know what, you know, I should just go find myself a first gen. Because, you know, why not? So I on the pursuit of finding a first gen. So I bought that first gen. I can't remember how many kilometers were on it now, but it was like, if it wasn't 400, it was right around 400. I want to say 488 strikes my memory. Maybe it was 388. No, maybe it was 388 when I got it. And truck had been repainted, was in pretty good shape, but it did have, when I first went and looked at it, it had a plow on it. And we had a plow tractor, and I worked for a snowplow company before that. And I was like, well, I have no reason for the plow. Why would I, you know, I don't have any reason. And the truck was standard. Terrible combination. There again, my opinion. So I bought that truck, and I drove it from, oh man, where did I buy that thing from? I want to say it was Perry Sound. I know that's wrong. But anyways, it was in Ontario where I used to live. And it was a few hours away. Funny enough, actually, my buddy Ryan was the one that actually dropped me off and for me to pick that up. And I'm driving along, you know, King of Turd Island. And guess what happens? The old get rag transmission problem. Doesn't the shift tower pop out while I'm sitting at an intersection? And I wasn't too happy. Now, I had bought the truck as is, where is, yada, 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 because I got a good deal on it. I talked the guy down a bunch. And here I'm sitting there thinking, what did I do? Go from driving a truck that works perfect, find this first gen, supposed to be good. Now I'm having transmission problems. So I tear the shift tower apart, get that all fixed up. And you can tell somebody had been in there lots of times, doing the exact same thing I was doing. You know, at this time I was a mechanic, so it's just like, it's not that it was complete rocket science. I had just never done it on one of those, right? So here I am in the intersection. What I ended up actually doing was everybody went around me, which was perfect. And I actually limped it through the intersection, through a red light. Don't tell anybody. And fixed it on the side of the road. Took me like 25 minutes the very first time. And at that time, I spent all the money I had on this truck. I think I actually even had, no, I had a loan on it to start with. I spent all of the money I had on this truck. And I'm thinking, now what am I gonna do? Because I don't have the money to put a transmission in it. So I ripped the top of the shift tower apart and I kind of bubble gummed or I shouldn't say bubble gummed, fixed the wear on the shift rod that it had. And I drove that truck with that same transmission in it for a long time. Now, granted, did it pop out once in a while? Yeah, it sure did. But I kept the tools in the glove box and I could do it. I could fix it in about 5 minutes. Now, did we keep all of the bolts in the you know, the shifter boot? No. And was part of the shifter boot missing? Yes. But you could do it pretty fast. So I kind of got to the point where it was just like, it wasn't too bad to do. You know, it was like, just is what it is. You just lived with it, right? Now I proceeded to put like 400,000 kilometers on that truck. Now granted, did I do stuff to it? Yeah, I rebuilt the transfer case. I never actually did rebuild the transmission though. I rebuilt the transfer case, I put a head gasket in it, I rebuilt the rear end, you know, front end stuff, you know, that type of jazz. Nothing extravagant though. Just trying to think what socket I need here. And that was my introduction to the first gen. Actually to a Cummins, like my own Cummins. I'd worked on customer stuff, you know. I'd worked on some VP44 stuff and worked on some P-pump 12 valve, and that type of thing. But that one was my, I actually worked on my buddy Ryan's truck a few times. But that was my first introduction to that. And I put that thing, man, I run around in a first gen now, like a stock one, or even close to stock, and it's just like, it's painful how slow they are, how they ride. And man, I drove that thing everywhere. I was putting roughly, for quite a long time actually, I was putting 10,000 kilometers a month on that truck. Now, I lived in the country, so you know, inherently you're going to do a lot of driving. Just is what it is, right? But man, I put a lot of miles on that truck. I towed with it, like it had a trailer hook to it a lot of the time. It was a good truck. You know, I look back and even see pictures of those trucks and stuff and think, you know, I should buy another one of those. And then I ride in one and it's like, I don't know, maybe I'm getting soft. You know, like, what do you guys think? Am I getting soft? I think maybe I'm getting soft as I get older. Am I gonna buy another one? yeah, let's be honest. I'm going to buy another one. I have the race truck, or what I call the race truck. Really been done any racing with it, but you know, I do plan on eventually doing something with that truck. Just as it stands, stuff keeps getting in the way, and you know, that type of stuff. But that is my introduction to, you know, my first gen. That was the very first one I had, and now I've had many of them afterwards. I would have to sit down and think about it. I've had a lot, and not all of them were good trucks, but it's actually kind of funny. First time doing a head gasket on one of these was for a friend of mine at the time. Well, it was her dad's truck, I guess. And I pulled the head on that thing. The only thing I did was I took the grill out, because his was a 92, so it had a grill like this truck here. And it was just a single turbo, nothing really done to it. I pulled the grill out because I didn't want to break the grill, because it wasn't cracked, funny enough. And I took it all apart like I'm doing with this one. I actually lifted that head out with one hand. Man, no wonder my back hurts. I guess we are at the point now where we should pull the injectors out, because, oh, we should maybe take this out too. Let's take that out. Because right now, with it attached to the engine, it's easy. 13/16. Or is it 7/8? Nope, it's 7/8. Slacking, boys, slacking. Not doing enough work apparently anymore on engines. Forget things. Those things are usually ripping tight. So it's way easier to take this stuff off before you take the head off, because you have something to pull against. It's in the truck. Take all that stuff off, but you bring it to your machine shop, they will be much happier with you. Oh, slide hammer. Gotta go get slide hammer. Now, I wouldn't recommend to do that with your injectors if you're going to reuse them. These ones are not going to be getting reused. Don't forget to take all your lines off. This we just put right back in the hole. Those washers and those banjo bolts are not easy to come by. So if you can all not lose one, you want to do that. Well, let's take this head off. Word of advice, when you go to take the head off, make sure you lift it straight up. Otherwise it grabs this line, just kind of like how I did there, and you bend it. Doesn't hurt it per se, but it does bend it. That is an original head gasket. That's crazy. That is an original head gasket. Man, you don't see those very often. Those were the good head gaskets. I remember I found a couple of these new one time. See how it's like, it's actually like a fucking steel gasket? Huh. Man, you don't see those. Now I wish I wouldn't have bent it. Not that I could have reused it, but huh. It's kind of neat. That's crazy. Yep, definitely not intercooled. Big bowl. No, it's actually crazy. It isn't even, oh, it's got some wear in it, but it's not too bad. Not too bad. I think the only other thing I'm going to do, because it's starting to get late, it's 10 after 7 now. So like I said, it doesn't take long to tear these things apart when there's no truck in the way, because I'm pretty sure I said it was 6 o'clock when we were outside there. I brought it in here, pulled the head off. We're into an hour. And I'm not like killing myself. Now granted, I've done it lots of times. I know the sizes you need for the most part. My toolbox is right there. I have a slide hammer pulling the injectors out, you know, not like it just happens. Oop. But I can definitely tell it's time to go home. I keep dropping stuff. The reason I want to pull this front cover off though is I'm curious. This is actually something for you guys I'm curious about. These return springs. But anybody interested, if I had a bunch of these made, but anybody interested in buying some? I was thinking about having some made. You can't buy them anymore. But I was thinking about actually having them built. So I know a guy. Let me know. It's something I might do. The only thing is that I have to order 1,000 of each. I think it's 1,000. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was 1,000. It was way cheaper if I did 10,000, but I don't know if I need 10,000 of them really bad. Well, I got the gun, but she needs a battery, and I don't know how to snock it. So let's swap battery. If you guys are wondering why there's all those oil filters there, actually have a video in the works to edit. To find out, you have to fill your oil filter on a B series Cummins. No killer dowel pin fix. Isn't that crazy? I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but no killer dowel pin fix. Huh. Here's goes to show you. They don't all have problems. Oh, actually, something for you. What's that plug for? Let me know down in the comments. Well, there goes to show you. They don't all fall out, but don't take the chance. Fix the killer dowel pin. All right, guys, so end of this video. I want to give a shout out to Area Diesel. So Curtis from Area Diesel got a hold of me and said, hey, I want to fix the pump for that engine and send it to me. I'm going to go through it. So 2 weeks later, we have a pump back. Now, I'm not saying the 2 weeks later is their fault because shipping from Canadistan, where I live, sucks. So I imagine he probably would have had it back to me even faster if we weren't coming from Canada. I just wanted to let you know. Let's open this thing up and see what we got. I'm going to be putting this engine back together in the next week or so. So we will be posting vidya. Oh, I got swag too. Look at this stuff. Oh, all kinds of swag. Hooked me right up. Bunch of gloves. Nice. Fender covers? Oh, fender covers. Sweet. You can always use fender covers. Nice. Fender covers. Oh, there's something inside that. Oh, what's this? All kinds of stuff in here. Hey, look, there's an injection pump at the bottom. Nice. So we didn't do anything super extravagant to this pump. It is basically a stock pump with a govern spring and a Ratman Performance fuel pin in it. But it'll work perfect for what this guy wants. He's looking for like 280, 300 horsepower. So this pump is going to work perfect with a set of my stage 1 injectors. It's going to work perfect. But let's see what else we got inside these boxes. Feels like there's something in this box. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's empty. I sometimes use them for spacers too because they're nice for spacers. But they taped it up real good, so I'm thinking there must be something in it. Come on. Oh no, there's stuff in there. Oh, a hat. Oh, nice. Couple hats. Curtis hooked me right up with the swag. Sweet. Oh yeah. Sweet. You guys, I've never watched Area Diesel. Go over and check Area Diesel out. They got all kinds of videos on doing this stuff. And if you need a pump, if you're looking for like a work stock pump, they're your guys. They're not into like crazy performance stuff, which is perfectly fine. There's guys that specialize in performance stuff, right? So if you specialize in performance, or if you want a performance pump, there's somebody else to send it to, a crazy performance pump. If you're just looking, you got a work truck or a relatively stock truck, these are your guys. Now they do more than injection pumps. They do turbochargers, all kinds of stuff. What is this? Oh, look at this sassy thing. Look at this. Nice. That's cool. We're gonna have to hang that up somewhere. Where are we gonna hang this? I'm gonna have to find a spot. Maybe right here. Maybe right here beside my Cummins sign that I made years ago. Actually, yeah. We'll put that right there. That's cool. Anyways, go check out their channel. I'll put a link down below. They got all kinds of different stuff. And like I said, if you're looking for work stock pumps and that type of stuff, check them out. I'm working on actually talking with him about setting up like a Cutterup Rob version of a VE pump and a P pump. So it'll be, you know, with spring, fuel pin, or, you know, like a P pump, like just a, I'm going to say just over stock build, but, you know, if you want one, you can just call, go on their website and say, hey, I want a Cutterup Rob pump, and they'll hook you up with that set up, I guess you would say. All right, cool. Well, we'll see you when we start putting this thing together. I'm excited.